Breaking. Welcome to today's news. Here is the headlines. Nobody should pity Tinubu because he agreed with everything Buhari did. Ezekwesili. Nobody should pity Tinubu because he agreed with everything Buhari did. Ezekwesili. To my dear listeners from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news and do ensure you like, subscribe and share. Now the details. Former Minister of Education and founder of Fixed Politics, Dr. Lobi Ezekwesili. In this interview monitored on Channels Television, speaks on recent development in the political and other national issues. Your Horn said that we are headed for a disastrous run if we are not careful. Did you fear that they were going to happen in the long run? Well, very so much so. The indicators were right there. It depends on what direction you take it. Whether you decided to think of the ruinous situation we have in the country from the political perspective, it was bound to happen. I mean, what we had in 2023 was not an election, properly so called. There was nothing credible about the presidential election of 2023 and the outcomes that followed. It was very clear that the concept of snatch, grab it, run with it, was going to haunt us if the credible path to competitive democracy was not what we followed in the elections. And it has become clear increasingly as we have seen as the days go by that we have become victims of absolute collapse of our institutions. And so whether it is the independent National Electoral Commission INEC or it is the judiciary, we saw that complete denigration of the principles on which institutional mechanisms are founded. So, if you look it on the economic side, it was very clear that we were already in trouble. But guess what? The individuals who are today saying that they met trouble were part of those who said to us that the economy was doing well and that there was no reason for any kind of counter opinion or contrary opinion on the state of economic policy management in the 8 years of their predecessor. So, they are very complicit in what became of the economy of this country today. And if you look at it from a social perspective, the complete ethnocentrism that drove the campaign in the elections of 2023 basically advanced by the kind of political culture that the president enabled has made that our social cohesion and our social capital even got really depleted. So where do we start from? Some say President Muhammadu Buhari's government set the economy backward 20 years and anyone after him will experience the kind of problem that we are experiencing today? Do you think that's not the case? I actually did say publicly that it was not going to be a piece of cake to run the economy because of the absolute devastation of everything that even resembles economic policy. I don't think they were doing economic policy under President Buhari, but this particular administration agreed with it. They agreed with everything that Buhari was doing. So, in their own case, nobody should feel sorry for them. They were culpable in it. I think that the problem with the Nigerian society is that we quickly forget these things. I am particularly concerned about the very public with my opinion about the governance of the country I am from, and that's because I understand the basic principles of democracy, that you cannot simply be a person who has got the privilege of education, not just basic education, but you are very advanced in your knowledge, and you also have political literacy, and just because you are in a place of privilege and comfort, then it doesn't matter to you how the country is governed. It should matter. Even when I was in government, my boss used to say in cabinet, he would say to anybody, just never be alone. You are all in my cabinet. Do I need to be a Ganifa Wayimi? I used